Welcome back to my channel, guys. You have no idea how excited I am for this video because we are going to be using the new Carnival 4 palette by bPerfect Cosmetics and Stacey Marie. Yes! I am so obsessed with this palette. It is stunning. It is so gorgeous. Like literally chef's kiss. It's perfection. Stacey did say that she wanted this palette to be more on the neutral side. Instead of just doing like a basic brown palette, like she said, no, we're gonna be doing, you know, warm toned browns, pops of oranges, going into the greens, the khakis, the olives. Like this palette is amazing. Leave it to Stacey to just go above and beyond when it comes to color stories. It's neutral, but it's literally unlike any other neutral palette that I have. And I have a lot of palettes, okay? But yeah, so we're gonna be diving into this look today. I'm going to be showing you guys how I got this olive green type of look. So if you want to see how I got it, just make sure to stay tuned, keep on watching, because we are going to be diving into this magnificentness right here. Okay, let me stop. Clearly I'm really hyped right now. But yeah, so I'm going to start off this look priming the eyes using some concealer. I'm using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Concealer in shade 4.1 and I believe 3.6. I'm using 4.1 to carve underneath the brows, and then I use 3.6, which is slightly lighter, to prep the eyelid space. So the first shadow that I'm going to be using is called Mystic. You guys are going to see me go through the process of creating like a halo cut crease look, but I ended up switching over to like a half cut crease. So I'm going to be showing you guys the steps for the halo cut crease, but if you want to do a half cut crease, you can follow all of the same steps. You would just change the placement of your cut crease and leave out all of those dark colors on the inner portion of the eye. But yeah, so I'm going in with that shade Mystic first and applying that onto the outer and inner corner as well as the crease. The next shade that I'm going in with is Clover. This is going to be my second transition color. So I'm going to be using this to blend out the edges of that shade Mystic. And already you guys can see like how incredibly pigmented these shadows are. Since we are using some pretty dark colors for our first two transition colors, I'm going to make sure to build these colors up slowly so that way I'm not going in with too much at one time. But I feel like with any shadow, honestly, it's always better to start off with a little bit and build up your pigmentation. So far, so good. Everything is looking really stunning. These colors are amazing. Oh my gosh. So the next color that I'm going to be going into is the shade Ash. This is more of like a khaki, like army green. Since this is our last transition color, I'm definitely going to make sure to use a very light hand applying it and take my time building up the shade because we want these edges to be super smooth and really well blended. So that's pretty much it for those transition colors. I'm going to start cutting the crease now using the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Concealer, and I'm using shade 3.6. And as I mentioned before, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do the halo cut crease, but I ended up switching over to a half cut crease. I don't do halo cut creases or like eye looks very often because I feel like my eyes are already pretty small. So having like that dark color on the inner portion of my eye kind of makes my eyes look even smaller. The look came out really pretty. I just personally prefer to do like either a half cut crease or a winged one. I just like to keep that inner corner really bright, and it's kind of harder to do that when you have like all of these dark colors going on in the same area. I'm then going to start applying my lid shadow. So I'm going to use the shade Dusk for that, and I'm going to go in with a flat shader brush and just lightly press that against the concealer that we just applied. So now that we have our lid color on, I want to bring a little bit of extra brightness to the very center. So I'm going to go in with this shade called Dove. It's like an off-white, almost like beige type of color. And I'm just going to apply that directly onto the center of the lid. So along with the palette, Stacey also came out with these stunning liquid eyeshadows. I should have like filmed a reaction video as I was opening up this PR package because I literally screamed. Like, I'm not even kidding you, I screamed when I saw these liquid eyeshadows because they're just so gorgeous. They're so pretty. And I definitely wanted to make sure I included like something. Like I wanted to do something with these things. So I ended up using this liquid eyeshadow in shade Venom as a liner to do some detail work. So I'm using this really tiny like liner brush from Sheen Cosmetics, and I'm gonna apply that onto the cut crease, like the very edge of the cut crease. And I'm also gonna create a winged liner, but I'm not gonna fill it in. I'm just gonna do like an outline. The mascara that I'm using today is from Giorgio Armani, and the lashes are from Lily Lashes, and they're in the style Carmel. So I went ahead and switched to the half cut crease off camera. So this is what the eyes are looking like. Literally the only difference is the shape of the cut crease. So let's go ahead and move into skin. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. I love this little moisturizer. She's so good. She's like a little on the thicker side, but I actually really like that. Like I love like thicker moisturizers. I just feel like so, you know, like luxurious. I don't know what it is, but like they just make me feel very like, you know, like I'm doing something. But yeah, so I'm using that to moisturize the skin. Then I'm gonna hop right into primer. I'm using the Too Faced Hangover RX Replenishing Face Primer. I love this primer. I'm so obsessed with it. I literally use it all the time. I feel like it's just like the perfect base for me. A lot of the times I like to use like powders and stuff like that. Like I love to bake and set my foundation with powder and stuff. So I feel like this is just like the perfect amount of moisture that my skin needs. In the past, I've definitely had those days where, you know, I primed all wrong and I did my little, you know, soft matte skin routine, and because I didn't prime correctly, my skin was just feeling like, you know, reptile skin. It was giving snake skin, you know, the Sahara Desert, and you know, that doesn't feel good. Like that definitely does not feel good. So I love this primer because it just gives like that perfect amount of moisture. My skin still feels very nourished underneath everything. I am also testing out a new foundation today, and we're in love. It's, you know, a new relationship is forming between the two of us. You know, it was love at first application, okay? The foundation that I'm using today is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Foundation. I'm telling you guys, every single person that I've seen use this foundation, it looks beautiful on them. I'm using shade 11 Neutral, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The packaging is even beautiful. Like I literally have no complaints about this foundation. It's so stunning. If you've been wanting to try this foundation, it definitely has my stamp of approval. Do not be surprised if you see me using this for every single tutorial until the end of the year. That's how much I'm obsessed with this foundation. So now we're gonna get into some concealer. I haven't used this one in a long time. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer. I'm using shade Cookie. I don't really like this shade on me anymore. I feel like it's a little too bright. It's strange because I used to think that the shade was like perfect for me to highlight, but now I use a shade that's like slightly darker than this. Like I don't go this light with my concealer anymore. I still love the formula of this concealer. It's really beautiful. I just need to pick up a shade that's like slightly darker because I definitely don't highlight with a shade like this bright anymore. I usually go like maybe, I want to say like a shade or two like darker than this. This is definitely one of those concealers too where you don't need a whole lot of products. A little bit of this goes a really long way. I'm then going to add my cream contour. I'm using the Huda Beauty Tantour Bronzer Cream in shade Medium. I'm not going to go in with like a ton of this product because I already knew that I was going to be using a bronzer or like a powder bronzer on top of this. So you only need like a little bit. This bronzer cream is also like super pigmented. Like she's really pigmented, so you definitely don't need a whole lot anyway. I ended up going back in with that Too Faced Born This Way concealer and added a little bit to the bridge of the nose to highlight. So now we're gonna go into some powder and start setting everything. I'm using the RCMA No Color Powder. Love this stuff. Definitely a must if you're like a makeup artist and you're doing client makeup. This powder is one of the few that's like actually translucent. Like it literally is colorless, and it also doesn't change like the color of like your liquid products or cream products underneath. This is definitely a powder I would have in my kit if I was doing client makeup because I know it's going to work on like everyone's complexion. So I use the RCMA powder to set my concealer. I'm going to use the Artist Couture Beauty Powder in shade Caramel Delight to set the rest of the face. So like my foundation and my cream contour. And for my powder bronzer, I'm going in with my favorite at the moment. This one is from Colored Rain and it's in the shade Cinnabe. It is now time to bake. I'm using the Huda Beauty Easy Bake setting powder in shade Blondie. I don't know why, but I decided to bake using a brush, which is kind of strange because I've never really done that before, and it definitely didn't work as well as when I use like a sponge or a powder puff. I don't know why I decided to do that. Like, that's kind of, maybe I was just trying to try something new. I don't know, but yeah, I definitely prefer to bake using a powder puff or a sponge. But anyway, I'm gonna use this powder to snatch the sides of the nose. Having that bake on the sides and the bridge of the nose just makes it look extra snatched without having to go in with like extra contour colors. Then I'm gonna go in with my blush. I'm using Beauty Bay's blusher in shades Coral and Peachy, mixing those two shades together and just applying that onto the apples of the cheeks. Once I'm done applying my blush, I'm going to start dusting off the bake on the sides of the nose. I'm going to finish up the eyes now. I'm pretty much going in with my crease colors, so that shade Ash, Clover, and Mystic, and I'm using those shades on the outer portion of the lash line to give it a little bit of smokiness. So that's it for shadow. I'm going to finish up this lower lash line by adding some liner to the waterline. I'm using this Too Faced liner in shade Cashmere, and then I'll go in with a couple of coats of mascara onto the bottom lashes. So now I'm going to go in with my nose highlighter. I'm using the MAC Cosmetics Extra Dimension Skin Finish in shade Oh Darling. Moving on to lips, I'm lining using the Artist Color Pencils from Makeup Forever in shades Versatile Chestnut and Dimensional Dark Brown. And the lipstick that I'm using is from Maybelline. This is their Super Stay Matte Ink Lipstick in shade Chai Genius. I am obsessed with this color. It's just a really cute neutral shade and it smells amazing. That entire collection of lipsticks smelled amazing. But yeah, Chai Genius is definitely my favorite one out of the bunch. I also went in with a little bit of this Melt Cosmetics Ultra Matte Lipstick in shade Paulina. This lipstick is definitely lighter than the Maybelline one, so I only use a tiny amount of this lipstick onto the center. Alright guys, final step, we're just gonna go in with some setting spray from Benefit. You guys don't even understand, I was feeling myself. I was feeling myself so much. Oh my gosh. The liner, the color story, like it was giving me all the feels. And yes, I was definitely like feeling myself with this makeup look. But yeah, so gonna spritz the face with that Benefit spray. Love this stuff. It just makes the skin look super smooth. It's like that perfect like finishing spray. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the look. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's tutorial. Definitely let me know what you guys think about the new Carnival 4 palette. How are you guys feeling about the color story and the fact that it's more on the neutral side? This palette definitely has my stamp of approval. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's everything. So are the liquid shadows. They are all super gorgeous and very, very pigmented. Loving everything about this collection. Congratulations to Stacey on another amazing palette launch, and thanks for always inspiring us all. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. If you did, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Love you, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.